Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. My name is Artieka.
And I'm Tommy.
And today we are getting our lives together and finally reviewing Ready to Love Season 5, Episodes 5 and 6. That's right? Yeah, that's right. Episodes 5 and 6. If you guys haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification bell, and share this video. Are you ready to review?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we'll start with episode 5, Sink or Swim. And on that episode, Tyrone and Shiloh went on a date at the ending, the eliminations.
Oh, okay.
Were Tyrone and Shiloh and Corey and Courtney. Both guys went home.
Yeah.
So Tyrone and Corey went home. We have been seeing Corey go home
since the beginning.
Since episode 1.
Yeah.
Tyrone definitely, because he wasn't willing to play the game of entertaining multiple women.
Yeah.
It's ultimately why he went home. He had his sights set on Shiloh. Shiloh was like, and it's too much.
It's kind of interesting that that Shiloh is the one that actually told him. I guess she had to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they really have another choice, you know.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So the episode, going back to the beginning, opened with the ladies' lounge. Ladies had the power this week. And they end up doing a pool party as a full cast. Corey said nobody has made him smile as much as Courtney has. And he had given Courtney a scavenger hunt of notes. In theory, that was cute.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that you do towards the ending when everybody is officially pairing off. Not in the beginning when... Basically, we know that this show is a game that has to be played.
Yeah.
You can't appear too into somebody at the beginning, and you can't appear to have too many options close to the end.
Right.
He was just trying to play the game of...
I'm finna talk to everybody.
I'm talking to everybody, but I really like Courtney. But when other people bring it up to me, I'm a lie.
I'm gonna play it off cool.
Okay,
that's what the player in me said.
Oh, okay. Courtney brings the notes around to everybody. Of course, Mew Min finds out, and she's like, later on in the episode, she did confront him about that. Let's see. So next was Shiloh and Tyrone told us that they haven't connected. Which was interesting because apparently Tyrone told Sabrina that she could be his lady, but Shiloh would be his wife. And this is why I missed the resort. I know our first season was the resort. Yeah. But
the first season we paid attention to.
That's what I mean by our.
Well, you know, you gotta explain that. Some people have been watching since episode 1, which we actually watched when it first came out.
We did, and we were like, this is not for us.
Yeah. We were convinced otherwise. I was going to say something about that. About Tyrone professing that Shiloh is his wife, or saying that she could be his wife. That's weird.
And I tell people that you're going to be my husband if you propose to me and I say yes. Right. Because that's the only instance that you're going to be my husband.
Right. In a sense of... You know, in this game, it's like the weirdest thing in the world, just because it's like, get to know her first. I have to assume that you're only looking at how she looks
in text messages, because we do know that they exchange numbers.
Yeah. But you have not been able, as you say, you haven't lived the seasons with her. Like right now, you're basically jumping off of a lustful feeling. Like she fulfills she hits the check mark of, is she attractive to me and can we have conversations? You know what I'm saying? Because like those are the first two things that you deal with when you're meeting somebody new for the first few times.
Mm-hmm.
So you haven't had time to actually figure out if this woman is wife material.
Right.
Not saying that she's not or saying that she is. It's just the time hadn't been put in enough.
Right.
But anyway, carry on.
At the pool party, 2 new singles got added in as a curveball, Sydney and Sean. Sydney and Sean seem to have a connection with each other, and then Frank and Sydney know each other, so they sit down and talk. Apparently they have a lot of mutual friends, and so that was what sparked the conversation with the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrone sits down with Sabrina and tells Sabrina that he thinks Shiloh was going to be his wife. And I was like, didn't we do this already?
No, he was actually talking to Shiloh.
Oh, okay. He told Shiloh that the first. Oh, yeah, because they were in the pool.
Yeah.
Then
he goes back and tells Sabrina that.
Mm-hmm. And Sabrina's like, for why are you telling me this?
Right. And that ultimately was the thing that I said was going to get him sent home on that episode, and ultimately
like, don't tell me you don't want to talk to me because of somebody else. Just let it go. Don't talk to me.
Yeah,
it's cool. Mumin and Corey talk about hot dogs. Don't really know why I wrote that because I didn't write anything else about that conversation. Sydney sat down with Cornelius.
That was a question that he asked her
about hot dogs.
Yeah, like how do you like your hot dog or something like that, or how would you make your hot dog or something like that.
And I was thinking to myself, I don't eat those.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't really like hot dogs.
Sydney sat with Cornelius. Cornelius feels like Camille is watching him. And I put Camille acts a pure fool. She called him a country bumpkin and said he's feeding into this like a dumbass. I was like, you need to go home next week.
I was looking at the TV like, what? Wait a minute.
And he still is like, this my top choice? Bro, you gotta raise your standards a little bit better.
Got to.
Iesha is talking to Sean, and Frank was watching from afar. Corey tells Courtney that he left the cards for her. And after he told her that he left the cards, of course, she was going to tell other people.
Mm-hmm.
Corey then had a date with Mumin after the pool party, and she asked him about the notes. He completely deflected and then invited her to meet his parents. That was a mistake. Because if you left these cards, just own it. Because you told Courtney, you know that they're going to discuss this.
Yeah, I wrote she's trying to figure out where he is with them. That's the reason why she asked. And it's like he's just deflecting the whole conversation of what they're having, like, bruh, did you do this?
He was trying to do a big display of love or admiration, because there's no love here. A big display of admiration for Courtney, not thinking about the fact that Mumin is in the exact same space as her. Mm-hmm. They are going to overlap each other.
And that's the thing that I didn't understand from him, because I'm like, what makes you think that they're not going to talk about what you're doing and you're going back and talking about what you did with them? Maybe this happened all in one day and he didn't get a chance to.
I do know that production for this show is very concise. So a lot of things that we think are happening like days apart are happening in the same day.
Yeah.
So don't know how that worked. It could be that they was like, okay, it's Saturday. Y'all got to give up y'all whole Saturday. Pool party, 10. By 2 o'clock, you going on a date with this person. By 3:30, you're going on a date with this person. 5 o'clock, somebody's getting eliminated.
Yeah.
Like, it could literally be that intense. Cornelius, Sydney, Camille, and Dante go to the selfie museum. I can't remember if that's the actual name of it, but essentially that's what it is. Yeah. Dante and Sydney talk about being homesick. Camille had an attitude when they walked in because Sydney hugged Cornelius.
That was why?
Yes. Like, then she later apologized for acting a fool with him about Sydney's pretty much, because it's like she keep coming on to him, and it's like I don't think that Sydney is doing anything overly flirtatious. I think that Sydney is coming in and is playing the game.
She's playing the game and also trying to catch up.
She's trying to catch up on connections, but she's also the let me get to know you. Let me get to know you. Oh, me and him, like I hate the we vibed, but that's what they're calling it. Like we had, a moment. Let's talk. Let me give you a hug. You were really nice when I met you. It's good to see you. Camille just is crazy. Iesha went out on a date with Sean. He gave her flowers. She says that she's impressed because he remembered her zodiac sign. They did discuss what the future looks like and about kids. She basically told him that she is done with her childbearing years. I got a few more child rearing ones, but I ain't giving none to nobody.
Yeah. That's a concern for Sean.
That is. But Sean is 44 years old and thinks he wants kids. That's a concern for me.
Yeah.
Because at 44 years old, you should either have them or you should know.
Yeah.
And then you also need to be looking for a woman of a particular age if you want to have kids, because 44-year-old women aren't out here like, oh my God, I gotta get pregnant.
Yeah, nah. That ain't a part of their routine.
Iesha said she's trying to get flued out. Like, kids are not on the agenda. Flued out. What is the next thing I put? Corey's put on Front Street about, Ladies Lounge. Yeah. I didn't put the note that there was a Ladies Lounge. Corey gets put on Front Street about the notes. Mumin and Courtney are comparing their conversations, and basically he's telling them the exact same things. The only thing is he made this grand gesture of appreciation or admiration to Courtney with the notes around the pool party, but everything else was parallel. Shiloh cried when they talked about Tyrone and him choosing her. I don't think I've ever seen someone cry because they're like, no, I didn't want to do this.
And the tears came from she's thinking that Tyrone is such a nice guy. And she hates that she doesn't feel the same way because he feels so strong about her. Like he's not talking to anybody else. That's it for him. And it she's like, I can't give him that same feeling. And if I did give him that same feeling, that's going to basically ruin the experiment for me because I want to get to know everybody. I want to see if there's a real connection with somebody else. And the tears started to flow.
So that was it for episode 5.
Hey, you ran through that thing.
All right. So episode 6 opens with the Gentleman's Lounge. Nephew Tommy tells the guys that they're at the halfway mark. I'm like, this is going by fast. We played catch up and then we right here back with them. Yeah. Zadia and Walter meet up at a nail shop and they talk about him losing his wife and how growing up with women changed his approach to dating. I always find it interesting when men are like, I grew up with a lot of women, so I know how to treat a woman. But then they also go back and be like, and I used to be really trash too. Which one is it?
They used to be trash. I don't think growing up with women have any idea as far any placement on how you treat a woman. It makes you think about it. But as a man, treative a woman. Yes, I said treative. As a man treative a woman badly, it's like you're not thinking about how this would affect your mom, your sister, your grandma, or anything like that. You're thinking about how does this affect me and how do I get what I want at that moment? So when people say that, I'd never say that. Really. I grew up in a house full of women.
Yeah, you did.
And I'd never say that because like every woman is different. Like all 3 of them were different.
It's funny. Now you live in a house full of women.
Yeah, and they're different. Both of y'all. So, yeah. To each his own.
Sabrina and Shine go out for lunch. They have Korean barbecue. They have a good time until we get to the conversation of children. He wants to have children, and she is one and done. Again, Sabrina's of a particular age.
She's 45.
Particular.
And he's 44. It's like, bro, like, do the math.
They're age appropriate for each other. However, at 45, usually if you are thinking about having more children or having children at 45, it's because you have none. And you're like, let me just see if these things gonna work. But she's like, nope, been there, done that.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm good.
Not trying to do it again.
And I'm gonna just add this to it. And I thought that would be hard for her, you know, being of a particular age, as well as for him. And I was like, this ain't gonna work. Like seeing them sit down and talk to each other, I was like, nah, that ain't gonna work. He want kids and she doesn't. Like, she makes that plain and clear. I don't want kids. One cool thing about her is that she, you know, they were talking in Japanese or I don't know, a different language. And, you know, he was trying to learn from her. She was so open to show him, you know, outside of the kids' conversation, they had like
they seem like they work well together, at least enough to continue trying to explore dating.
Right. He definitely asked for a second date.
He did.
And I was like, why though, bro?
If you know that this is not what you want, don't oblige her for a second date only to try to make this crash and burn because you're like, oh, this girl over here, whomever this other girl is, wants kids and she liked me too.
Yeah.
Then you have Phil and Iesha. So they go out to eat. And this is a connection because he checked on her after she had her car accident.
Yeah.
I had forgotten about that. I remember that she was in a car accident, but I forgot that it was Phil that had gone to check on her. So they get into the kids' conversation. And much like her conversation the previous week, she did say that she didn't want to have any more children, but then she went a step further with Phil and revealed why she doesn't want to have more children. She says she had 2 very traumatic pregnancies, and I believe she said she also lost a child.
I'm not sure.
But having rough pregnancies is hard on your body and hard on your mental. And when you also put in the risk of possibly losing your life or your child or your child's life, it's like, I don't want to do this. So I'm not. And that's where she is. She's like, I would love to have more kids, but my body can't bear it anymore. And I'm not going to lose myself in childbearing.
Yeah.
Because a man wants more kids.
Right.
Fly me out. But I really think that kind of like made Phil and Iesha a little bit closer to each other. I don't know if it will translate into dating more because I don't know if Phil is interested in like wanting a woman who is willing to have kids, but I do think that it has made them definitely closer to each other.
Yeah.
Because she felt close enough to share that with him. Then we have Naim and Camille. Naim says Camille didn't seem approachable. Then she asked him to feed her. And I was like, why are we doing this?
She did?
Yeah. It was, I think, the oysters.
Oh.
They then get to him wanting kids and how he would interact. Oh, she basically goes on this like missile fire question session. Does he want kids? How will he interact with her son? Essentially, he said kids are a hit or a miss for him. He's not like my life wouldn't be complete without kids. I mean, unless I had kids. But I also am not actively seeking a woman that doesn't want kids.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he needs to be a little bit more sure on the kid conversation.
The kids don't make or break the relationship for him.
They do, but it's like if kids don't make or break the relationship and you feel like you can go without having kids, then you probably don't really want to have kids. She asked how would he interact with her son. I can't remember what his response to that was. Then she asked him how many kids he would have after he told her that he really wasn't thinking about kids. He was like, one, maybe. Like, I got to get to the one before I can care about the more.
Got to get the woman first.
Then she wants to know about his finances, and he cut everything short from there. Camille has been very interesting as it comes to money. One of those reasons is because Cornelius, in one of their first interactions, he said that he's living a debt-free lifestyle.
Yeah.
And she was like, tell me more. And it's like, I didn't feel like her tell me more was of a, oh my God, I want to know what your secrets are. Tell me how you managed to pay off X, Y, and Z. It was like, how much money do you have that I can spend?
Yeah. I just, she came into that date with Naim not really serious about it, not really trying to get to know him or like be serious about the date. She was just, honestly, it was like, oh, I can go eat.
Ready to Love told me that I have to go on a date with someone this week. Naim is someone that I have not been on a date with.
Yeah.
Check.
That's what it was. She was just checking off something. But he said she crazy.
She is.
And that, she is. And her, like, I hate it for Cornelius, but I think she's going to ruin the situation for him. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I digress.
Men, Dante, Frank, and Sabrina go to Swingers to play golf. Sabrina and Dante go to the side and have a chat. They talk about kids. He has 3 by 3 different women. She has 1 and her daughter's dad is not around. Frank and men go talk. They talk about their values, and then they get into the conversation of abstinence. He says that he is hypersexual, and he does not know if that would work. I want to know, what does hypersexual mean?
Gotta have it.
The interesting thing about that is kind of like, it was a conversation that I recently was reading through the comments of on Facebook. And someone was like, I'm tired of people saying that they're a freak and the things that they consider being freaky are very basic things. And I was like, that's how I feel about people who are like, I'm very sexual. It's like, you're just not getting any. And when you do, you want a lot. Like, I don't understand.
I don't know.
Tell me what hypersexual means. But, he ain't hypersexual with me, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Tasia and Sean, did you have anything else for that one?
No, that's it.
Tasia and Sean go out to eat. They talk about their religious beliefs, and they talk about children, and they both do want kids. Tasia has been the first person that Sean has mentioned these kids to that has been like, oh, me too. Yeah. Everybody else is like, no ma'am.
Nah.
No ma'am, no sir.
It's like he's been throwing darts, and she's the first one to actually, hit. Mm-hmm. When I saw them interacting with each other, I was like, I can see where this is going. Mm-hmm. Like that's the hitch that he hitches onto, because she wasn't like, no, but like she was going home. Mm-hmm. Like nobody was like really checking for her.
Right.
Until Sean came through, and I was like, okay, that's who's going to save them.
Right.
Is them too. So
right.
That's really all I got.
Courtney and Cornelius, they talk about her being younger and her liking to date older men, and then they discuss him not wanting to have sex before marriage and how she's like, nope, not going, gotta do it. Like, you're not going to stop that show. And he was like, "Nah, I'm not feeling that."
Yeah.
They get back to the gentleman's lounge. Basically, Dante was feeling Shiloh and Zadia. Frank was like, "You mean it's cool?" Nobody else really answered, or at least they didn't let us see the answers.
Yeah.
On the not feeling list, Courtney's was for Cornelius. Frank also wasn't feeling Courtney. Dante wasn't feeling Tasia, and Naim wasn't feeling Camille. Cornelius felt very
attacked.
And
that's it. Like I said, man, that's gonna hurt him in the end when he's trying to really like get into it, because once Camille is eliminated, who's gonna be looking for Cornelius?
I don't know. I think that Cornelius is actually like a catch.
Yeah.
And I think that with him being a catch, he shouldn't have issues dating someone.
It's not the fact of him having issues. It's the fact that while he spent all this time getting to know one girl, everybody else has started to.
But he's been on dates with other people, though.
Yeah, but none of them went anywhere.
That's true. The only other connection that he had that was really strong up until it wasn't was Courtney.
Right. Because even at this point, he's gone twice out with her.
Courtney?
Yeah. Because remember, they all went to the table. Then he went out with Camille. Then he went out with Camille again. Then he went out with Courtney.
Him and Sydney could flourish.
I ain't finna try to match him up with anybody.
No, I'm just saying, like, him and Sydney could flourish. They did talk.
But I'm just saying that's what's going to hurt him, because all the time he spent with Courtney and Camille, everybody else was making connections with other girls. And the girls were making connections with the other guys.
So essentially, at the end of this one, they had Courtney and Camille at the elimination. Walter sat down with Courtney, Dante with Camille. Camille was very rude. She was very much giving Naya when Rashid had to send Naya home.
Yeah, I had to remember who Naya was, but I got you.
She was like ready to cuss him out when he was about to have to send her home, as if she didn't know how this television show worked. I said they didn't send her home, but I feel like they should have. They did end up sending Courtney home. So now we're uneven on the ladies. So I'm interested to see if we're going to get a top of episode elimination on episode 7, like one that we just didn't see coming.
Yeah. Courtney got eliminated because she wasn't mature enough, basically. That's what they were saying, because the only thing she wanted was sex, and they were looking for real relationships. And I was like, I get that. Because you was like, she seems like to be like a party girl too.
Yeah, like she very much gave me bartender spirit. Like when I think about the bartenders that I've known in the past, and not the sex side of Courtney, but I mean like we're going out, I know everybody, I'm talking to this person, I'm talking to that person, and it's because you're in the midst of the nightlife, but you would be in the midst of the nightlife because you're making money, but that also means that you're still out there with the movers and shakers and people that go out every weekend, because you know who these people are because you're there. She just definitely gave me that energy of nightlife oriented as someone who worked in nightlife before. It felt like I've met a Courtney a time or two.
No, I get it. I just feel like Courtney she didn't fit with the crew. Like the crew of people, she didn't fit with them because of where they were and what they were looking for, and where she was and what she was looking for. So, I mean, her being sent home, I don't think it's nothing against her. I just think, the group of people that they have, they're all looking for something different. Like, she could have probably gotten with Frank. I don't know why that didn't flourish anywhere, but
I'm
Frank
drawing.
was the hypersexual guy.
I'm drawing a blank on what he looks like. Like I remember the conversation, but what he looks like.
But anyway, that's what I had with that one.
Well, this season has been fast and slow all at the same time. I think part of it is because we didn't jump in at the beginning. We were a little bit late to the party.
We started on episode 3.
Yeah. And then also because the antics are not as big as Houston has been. Because the 2 seasons that we watched in Houston were very much more animated than this season has been. I'm interested to see who makes it to the end at this point, since we're at the halfway mark of the season. Ready for these double eliminations so we can actually get to find out who really likes who and not just who been texting. Because that's the hard part for me is that it's not a lot to gauge, because when are y'all talking? Because y'all are not going out on dates. It's this, like, I can't, Shiloh hasn't been on enough dates for me.
Yeah.
Sydney, though she just came last episode, has not gone on enough dates for me. But Sean has been on like 5.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of...
They're creating a story with Sean.
No, they definitely are creating a story with Sean. Like, I see it, but it's like, as a viewer, I would like to see the full picture, not just... Sean wants kids. Let's find Sean a girl that wants kids too.
Let's see why Sean wanting kids is not working.
So yeah, we're done.
I'm done.
All right. If you guys haven't already, again, please subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and comment down below. The comment or the question that I wanted to ask, I forgot to ask it beforehand, is who do you think is going home next from the ladies? Of course, I know most of y'all probably gonna say the same thing I say, which is Camille. Who do you think?
I don't think it's Camille, because I think Cornelius is going to continue to save her. But Tasia might go home.
I could see that.
Tasia was going, like, I've had Tasia going home like this whole time. So,
and after she made this connection with Sean, because they both want kids and believe in the Lord.
But that's going to put her in the same position that Camille is in. Only one person can actually save her. So
that's true. All right, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, bye, y'all.
Peace.